All right, so I'm trying to figure out how to get the camera around backwards, and it's dark. All right, here we are for the live verdict, which, there's no way he's going to be found not guilty, right? I mean, it's just not possible. Let me get the volume up for you.
With the guilty verdicts returned, we're going to have.
We know it's going to be guilty of something, right?
Blakely, you may file a.
So, there's my cat. My cat decided he wanted to be live on YouTube.
The court will issue findings on the Blakely factors, the factual findings.
Anyway,
1 week after
my thing is, do you think there's any shot in the world
and we will also have
that he will be found not guilty? There's just not. It's not possible. He's going to be guilty of one of the charges. We just don't know if it's second degree premeditated or whatever it is, second degree or manslaughter.
on behalf of the state.
Anyway, I mean, we know he's guilty of something, right? I mean, I think most of us
Bail
think.
is revoked, bond is discharged, and the defendant is remanded to the custody of the Hampton County Sheriff. Anything further?
Oh, second. Okay, so it says second degree murder.
And there you go. That is the verdict. Guilty on all 3 counts.
Wow,
Former police
3 counts.
officer Derek Chauvin now being taken into custody, heading back to jail where he will be for the next several weeks as the process continues.
So my
See what
thing
the
is,
sentencing phase will be.
do you think there was any chance that he wasn't going to be guilty? As far as I know, second degree is he had the intent to kill, but it wasn't a premeditated. So first degree murder would be premeditated, where he was planning it. And the thing is, I'm wondering, is the community going to be satisfied?
A lot of hearings between now and then, a lot of legal
This
procedures
is the
on
local
both
ABC guy.
prosecution and the defense side as they try and figure out what that penalty phase will be. These are live pictures of folks outside that courthouse hearing
Anyway,
the verdict.
my thing has been throughout the trial.
Things have remained peaceful. Things have
There's
remained
people
calm.
gathering. I guess they call it George Floyd Square, which
At least
I think we all knew that there had to be a judgment against Derek Chauvin, because it was such a what would you call it, a public trial, much as a lot of other trials. Right. And my thing is, all right, so he's guilty, second degree murder. Where do we go from here? Can we heal from this? Besides all the people like yelling justice, yeah, justice, yeah. It's in my heart goes out to the family, okay? But does this guilty verdict make them sleep any better? I don't know. My mom died in a car accident, and there was fault there with the person who hit the car that my mom was in. And not for a second did I think that if I sued the guy and won, that was going to make any difference in my mind. That's just my personal experience with somebody losing their life because of a car accident. That apparently there wasn't fault found in the accident. I guess it was just a no fault accident or something. But anyway, my thing is now, where do we go from here? Are we gonna try to reconcile? How do you say that? Reconcile. People are putting up lettering on the justice for George Floyd. All right, so that's what I'm saying now. How do we move forward from this? Do we have to have this same conversation 200 times, or are we going to try to progress? And all right, so are we back on now? It's hard to tell. It told me I was offline a second ago. Anyway, sharing some thoughts, and my thoughts are that are we going to progress beyond this, or is this going to be the same thing? If any of you are old enough to know about the LA riots, or because of Rodney King, and in another situation also where somebody, I think in the black community, was shot by a Korean person. If you look it up on Wikipedia, it explains that the police, there was like 7 or 8 police officers beating Rodney King, and that was a huge media event because they had the video footage from a news helicopter, and they burned down LA. And did we progress? Have we progressed since then? This is what my hope is for Black Lives Matter, and just the Blue Lives Matter too. I think in my heart of hearts, it's um, you know it's everybody matters. And that's not a mark against anything against black or brown or anybody. It's just we all matter, and I would hope beyond this that we're gonna stop being adversarial, or to put it in plain language, we're gonna stop being so divisive, or what's a goddamn word for that? We're gonna stop being at each other's throats, because I think this issue has made it you're either for the police or you're for the black community or the brown community or whatever you want to call it. Let's listen to what this lady's saying on ABC for a second.
Happens because it will happen because again it's very costly, and second of all, we have some change now that says you can't just make mistakes, you can't be callous in one's behavior. So I think it is going to lead to some very good things, very good policing. We've already had some discussion.
All right, so my argument against what she's saying, okay, is that she's saying, that we need to reach a place where black people aren't being killed. And pardon me if I'm not saying it correctly, if I'm not using the right terminology, but how can I express this? Is that this happened, I think it was right around 91 or 92, where Rodney King, a black gentleman, was attacked by these officers because of his behavior, because I guess he was on PCP, or, I mean, don't quote me on this, but whatever he was on, he was like fighting 7 cops. And I don't remember if they were charged guilty at first, or they were not guilty at first, and then they went to a different trial. But how have we progressed since then? Are we just going to forget all this happened in a year or two, and we're not going to hear from Black Lives Matter? Are we going to, is the federal government going to talk about this with the black community and the brown community and, the whole community, on how do we keep this from happening again? I don't think that the pressure is on just the police, okay? That's where my stand's on. It's not just police killing people. People are committing crimes and putting themselves in the position to be confronted by the police. That is factual. It isn't people that are just walking down the street minding their own business. And I'm not saying this never happens. Profiling never happens. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in several of the cases recently, especially the one where the young 13-year-old, I think he was a Latino kid maybe, was running down away from the police officer with a gun, threw the gun away, and the cop shot him. We have to, I believe that the parents have to take, and I would say the measure who's 13 at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's what we're shifting focus from, is where is that kid's parents? Yes, he was killed by the police. It's very, very sad. It's very, it shouldn't have, well, I can't say it shouldn't have happened. It's a tragedy. A 13-year-old kid being shot. What did he do to put himself in that place, running from the police with a firearm, being shot? And there's many cases of people that were stopped. I guess, I'm not going to say that every person who was ever confronted with the police and injured, is in that spot. I'm sorry that it's emotional for me, but I'm just saying, are we going to come to a place where we can have some town hall discussions, maybe some discussions in the Senate, maybe some discussions with local state government? How do we come together to avoid this in the future? That's what we see. That's proactivity, being proactive. Before the event happens, we're working toward, I'm going to get off my soapbox here in a second. What are we doing proactively to prevent confrontation between police and these young men and women? and I'm just trying to be inclusive of everybody, because brown people aren't the only people being shot by cops. There's plenty of white people that got shot by cops, and other non-black people that have been shot by cops, including anybody. You know, I'm sure there's a Chinese person, or there's a what would you call it, a Middle Eastern person that has been shot by cops, but you don't see that reaching out. And I think my feeling is we just need to try to get over black community and police and get together and to be more everyone matters. How can we better prevent this in the future? All right, I'm getting off my soapbox now. Let's see what the commentator has to say before I end this stupid live stream. It's not stupid, but maybe what I'm saying is stupid.
Measured in your behavior, measured in your steps, and so, there has been a call from the very beginning that no matter what the verdict is, to be calm and approach the situation with carefulness, and I think that's what we're seeing. So when I see all of the flowers, when I see
with carefulness, that's what she said.
To this person, this human, it gives me hope.
I like how she said human. I like that.
We can do better, and we know that we can do better. Lots of work needs to be done, but the peace and the calm is what I think sets the stage, and at the most appropriate time for those of us here in Florida, because with the anti-rioting bill, there are a lot of.
I'm not sure who this lady is. I think she might be a local ABC person.
Arrested? Is this going to be in Florida a situation where people can't believe and protest something that they believe to be a wrong? So
all right, so I mean, the piece of the puzzle that people don't want to face up to is accountability on the part of victims. I know this George Floyd is so sticky. Oh, my battery's running down. I just got a battery warning. But I'm just going to generalize and say, if there's a person that is committing a crime and you are stopped by the police, and something happens because you're resisting, you're running from the police, you kick a police officer, you punch a police officer, you're holding a weapon, there has to be some accountability. It isn't just it's the police's fault. And this is what is grinding on me internally every time I watch the news, is this situation was only Derek Chauvin's fault, because the other guy, he didn't do anything. Well, he did do something to warrant being stopped and arrested, okay? That's not a reason to kill somebody, okay? I'm going to repeat it 2 or 3 times. Being stopped by the police and accused of a crime is never a reason for somebody to lose their life, unless they present a threat, a deadly threat to the officer, and which was not in this case. So I hope it's making some sense, and what I hope is the other side. Now that we're sort of over this in hindsight of this, I think it's good that this guy's not skating on this, because obviously something in this trial, I don't know if it really matters. We're going to split hairs. Did he not kill him on purpose? A man's dead, and I think justice needs to be served for the community to heal. But what I'm saying is, what happens next time? Anyway, I hope nothing I said offended anybody. If you're offended, I'm very sorry. I'm voicing any hate or any. I'm just saying what's in the moment. In the moment is what I just, what I'm just venting. I think we've all been holding our breath for 2 or 3 weeks in the event. Anyway, I'm just glad that people are being peaceful at the moment. Somebody will say they're throwing money over here. I don't know what that's about. If it's handbills or money, this guy's just throwing cash. But I think it's a good thing that this is a guilty verdict, and I hope we're going to move forward somehow in a peaceful manner and hopefully heal from this at this point. I'm going to go before it drops out again. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.